Hi guys, welcome back to my channel for all things vegan food and lifestyle. First off, let me start off by saying I absolutely love the documentary. I thought it was extremely well researched and filmed. If you are thinking about watching Seaspiracy, I highly recommend that you do. Seaspiracy is thought-provoking. It touches on the ethicalness of the fishing industry, sustainability, and health factors, which I have summarized into 7 main categories. First though, let's talk about how the documentary begins. Seaspiracy starts off with this guy named Ali who has an idealistic vision of the ocean. He loves whales and dolphins and essentially wants to film this beautiful image of sea life living harmoniously in the ocean. This starts his journey. He is horrified to learn about the whales and dolphins and other sea life dying from plastic consumption. This changes the image in his head and he makes it his life mission to educate and raise awareness regarding plastic and how it is affecting the ocean. All these species populations are dramatically declining and essentially causing the ecosystem to be imbalanced, which is killing the ocean as well as the life in the ocean, including coral reefs. The documentary describes it as the deforestation of the ocean. 93% of CO2 is stored in the ocean, and right now the integrity of the ocean is extremely jeopardized. 2.7 trillion fish are murdered every year, which equates to 5 million per minute. The documentary states if the current fishing trend continues, we will have empty oceans by 2048. This clearly is a very serious problem. First category that the documentary goes over is bycatch. Bycatch is a huge problem. 40% of all marine life caught gets thrown back over as bycatch. 50% of the bycatch dies before it even hits the water. This brings up the issue of sustainable fishing. For instance, is sustainable fishing even a thing? For example, a small fishery in Iceland killed 269 porpoises, 500 seals, and 5,000 seabirds. This small company actually had an MSC logo. MSC stands for Marine Stewardship Council. A lot of people, when they are looking for sustainable fish, they specifically look out for an MSC label because they want to buy fish that is considered sustainable. Obviously, how can a company that has so much bycatch be certified as sustainable? Ali decides to go talk to MSC and ask them this exact question. He also learns about Dolphin Safe, which is another company that essentially provides the same certification. Dolphin Safe means that the company has killed 0 dolphins in the process of catching whatever seafood they are providing. When he goes to speak with these companies, the gist of the conversation is that they cannot guarantee sustainability. In fact, these companies are loosely regulated and they take the captain's word for the amount of bycatch there was, or if any dolphins were killed. One of the representatives from Dolphin Safe even said they rarely have observers on board of these ships. Therefore, any company with money can buy one of these labels. When he speaks with these companies, the gist of the conversation is the companies are profit driven and pretty much the logo has no real meaning. It is just clever marketing to make consumers feel more comfortable about consuming seafood. These logos are loosely regulated and typically it is solely based on the captain's word. Then Ali proceeds to consider plastic. He talks specifically to the Plastic Pollution Coalition in Oceania These are two extremely large organizations that have campaigns to help protect the oceans from plastic, specifically microplastics like straws. In the documentary, Allie discusses how 99% of what we hear about is plastic straws. Don't use plastic straws, eliminate plastic straws, everyone hates plastic straws. And he finds that really interesting because the truth is plastic straws are only 0.03% of the plastic in the ocean. Let me repeat that. That is less than 1% of the plastic in the ocean comes from plastic straws. So where does the majority of plastic come from? Well, 46% of the plastic in the ocean comes from fishing nets. Besides fishing nets, the other majority of plastic in the ocean comes from fishing gear. Allie wants to know, if we have these statistics and we know what the majority of plastic is in the ocean, why is no one talking about it? Why is everyone focusing on plastic straws, which make up less than 1% of the pollution in the ocean? This part of the documentary gets pretty interesting because when he's speaking with Oceana and he's speaking with Plastic Pollution Coalition and he asks them this exact question, they basically don't want to talk about it. They tell him to turn off his camera, go away, we don't want to talk about this. One of the women that works for the Plastic Pollution Coalition named Jackie Nunez, he asked her, if we know 46% of the pollution comes from fishing gear, what is the number one thing consumers can do to prevent the plastic from being in the ocean? And she says to eliminate or reduce fish consumption. That is the main thing that someone can do if they want to eliminate the plastic in the ocean. And her coworker, the founder of this organization, she gets really upset and she says, Jackie did not say to eliminate eating fish. And Allie's like, well, why are you freaking out about this? Like, isn't this something that you guys, you know, your organization essentially is wanting to eliminate plastic, and here we have this solution. Like, why are you getting upset that she said that? Why does that matter? And later he finds out, he follows the money trail and he finds out that the Plastic Pollution Coalition is receiving money, or I don't recall the name of this company now. It's probably in my notebook. So, what Allie finds out when he follows the money is that the Plastic Pollution Coalition is owned by this company called Earth Island. Earth Island is profitable based on the fishing industry, and Earth Island also owns Dolphin Safe. To me and to Allie, that sounds like a huge conflict of interest, right? That is why no one is talking about the fishing nets in the ocean or the fishing gear in the ocean, because they profit from fishing. Of course they're not going to talk about it. Similar story with Oceana. Both organizations, clearly conflict of interest, profit driven, extremely disappointing. And it was interesting because after I watched this documentary, I looked on both of these organizations' Instagram pages and the comment sections were turned off. They clearly are dealing with the public relations issue now because people are questioning what's driving the information they're providing. Per the documentary, the fishing industry destroyed more animals in one day than the huge oil spill that lasted 3 months did. And per scientists, 30% of the ocean needs to be protected. But in reality, only 5% of the ocean is protected. And out of that 5%, 4% of it still allows fishing. So essentially 1% is protected. Allie also discusses slavery, because apparently that is also occurring in the fishing industry. The documentary shows a drone hovering over a fishing boat, and one of the workers on the boat writes, "Please come." According to the documentary, there are 51,000 boats in Thailand. Most of them operate with free labor. The documentary states that most people heard of blood diamonds, but there is also blood shrimp. He is in total disbelief, you know, all this horrible stuff he's learning is associated with the fishing industry. So he goes and he talks to several of the employees that were previously working on these fishing boats, and he learns about horrible abuse allegations, including boiling water being thrown on them, being hit with iron bars, threatened with guns, thrown overboard. In addition to human suffering, well-respected marine biologist Sylvia Earle states, "As a scientist, it is common sense. Fish do feel pain." She wrote, "They have a nervous system, they have basic elements of all vertebrae, they have the capacity to feel on a level humans can't. We feel pain, we feel touch. They have a lateral line down their side that senses the most exquisite movement in the water. You see 1,000 fish move as one fish. For those who say it doesn't matter what you do to a fish because they can't feel anything, they can't relate to pain, or they can't sense danger in the future, well, those humans have never really observed fish. I think it is just a justification for doing dastardly things to innocent creatures. The only explanation I can think of for treating fish with such a barbaric attitude." In addition, the scientific panel for the European Union states, "Fish can feel pain and experience fear, and they have complex social lives. Research proves fish are intelligent, have memories, and are sentient. They have excellent vision, hearing, sense of smell, and taste. They are curious and they feel fear as well. They also have the same pain receptors that humans have, and they can feel pain." He goes on to talk about the nutritional value of fish, which I will just let you know what they determine. There is no nutritional value of consuming fish. You can get the same nutrients from eating plants. A common misconception is that only fish can give you omega-3 fatty acids. But in reality, omega-3 fatty acids do not come from fish. They actually come from algae, the algae the fish consumes. Therefore, you can eliminate the fish and just consume the omega-3 from algae oil. Also, the documentary states the aquatic food chain is the most concentrated source of industrial pollutants, including flame retardants, mercury, and heavy metals. The documentary did a really good job of laying out all the problems that the fishing industry is causing. Unfortunately, there is a solution. Humans can still make a difference, but we need to act now. We need to stop eating fish and choose plant-based alternatives. And lucky for us, there are a bunch of really good plant-based alternatives to choose from. The documentary states the single best thing you can do to protect the oceans you love and the marine life you love is to simply not eat them. If we protect more and fish less, it allows time to restore the ocean and create a healthy balance to restore the ecosystem. The ecosystem will bounce back if we just allow it time. This will help bring back the fish, whales, and reefs. Finally, the documentary ends with another quote from Sylvia Earle stating, "The best hope we will ever have of having a home in this universe is to respect what we got and protect what remains. No one can do everything, but everyone can do something." I highly recommend you watch this documentary and make up your own mind regarding the fishing industry. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the Seaspiracy review.